All right, you guys, it is July 25th. I feel like it was just the 4th of July, like yesterday. So weird how in the Pacific Northwest, not everyone's here. I understand that on live or watching the recording. Um, but in the Pacific Northwest, we've had a fantastic summer and we've had the sunshine that's been glorious. And I don't know about you guys, but it's making me feel like it's just flying freaking by. And then here comes next month, my son will be getting ready to be a freshman, and it kind of gives a little bit of anxiety, and I just can't handle it anymore, but it's fine. It's fine. We're not going to talk about that. So I wanted to talk about the importance of routine to kind of piggyback off of or elaborate on one of the steps that I gave you guys last week. If you guys remembered, I talked about setting a schedule for social media so we don't get lost in the scroll and the vortex and, feel like we've been on our phones all day without being productive. Because let's be honest, all of us have other shit to do besides be on social media and work Beachbody. Like, whether we're, moms or girlfriends or significant others of sorts or grandmas or taking care of a home or taking care of this, taking care of that. We always have stuff to do. Like, we don't have just time to sit and play on our phones as much as, maybe we want to, and ignore the rest of the world. So I want to elaborate on the importance of routine. So I actually Googled what routine meant, and I loved what the description was. It said, a sequence of actions regularly followed, which made me think of what a lot of us struggle with, or what have a lot of us struggled with on our own journeys or in our business? Consistency, right? So that was the first word that popped up when it said a sequence of actions regularly followed, which means being consistent in these actions that you follow that benefit you in some way, shape, or form, whether it's mindset, whether it's business oriented, physically, whatever it may be, it's something that you continually do. So I sat here and I was like, you know what's funny? When we all have had little ones, right? We all know what it's like when it's summertime for our kids or when school's in session. Our kids strive for structure, or with structure, don't they? Or they become really rambunctious and crazy and chaotic, and life just, it's hard, and you're trying to like cook breakfast and stop kids from throwing stuff and all over the place. Well, adults thrive in structure too, but oftentimes we forget it. Oftentimes we think that we could remember everything that we need to get done during the day, but then we hit the snooze button, or something happens in the morning where it throws us off, or we get an unexpected phone call on our way to the grocery store or on our way to work that sets our mind somewhere else, and we're constantly saying, oh, I'll get to that later, I'll do that later. Something came up, and you keep postponing things. Well, the meaning behind having a routine, the meaning behind having a schedule is so you're productive. You're intentionally productive all throughout your day, no matter what happens. So, like I said, last week, I talked about creating a schedule for social media. Now we're going to talk about creating a routine for our lives. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys what routines to do. I'm not going to tell you how your morning routine should look like, because everyone's different. Some of us work from home. Some of us are retired. Some of us have jobs outside the home. Some of us do all three. Some of us do it while watching our grandkids, or, whatever. I am not going to tell you how to create your routines. There's 3 different types of routines that I'm going to suggest that we all create. And there's going to be things that we should include in each of those routines. So that's what I'm going to help you go over. So basically, I'm helping you create your own blueprint of your routines so you can create them in a way that works for you. Because if I were to tell you, okay, you got to wake up at 5 a.m., you got to get your workout done by 6 a.m., and you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, most of you are going to look at me like I'm fucking crazy and be like, not happening. Or you're going to try to do it, and you're not going to you're going to do it for like 1 or 2 days, and it's not going to work for you. You're going to hate it, and then you're going to stop showing up altogether. That's not what I am intending to do. I want to help you guys do something that works for you, so you're successful at it, so you're productive, so you get something out of it instead of struggling or showing up when you don't want to show up, or whatever. I know that some of us are more energetic in the middle of the day. I know that some of us are more energetic in the evening, and some of us are more energetic in the morning. So remember that when you're creating these routines. So first things first, your morning routine. And I am going to say, start it whenever works for you. We all have things going on in our lives. So when that time happens, whatever time, whether you have to be somewhere at a certain time or be on a computer at a certain time, allow yourself enough space and time to take care of things that are for you. For you. When I'm talking about these routines, this has nothing to do with your family, has nothing to do with the laundry, has nothing to do with the dishes or your cars or your cats or your dogs or anything like that. These are your routines, because we all know when we are our best selves, when we're taking care of ourselves and we're pouring into ourselves, we can become our best selves for everyone else. So your morning routine, how are you going to start your day on purpose? How are you going to start your day on purpose? You got to think about that. Be intentional. You know, Mel Robbins always talks about, like, I actually seen this thing on the millionaire mindset something page on Instagram. I should have reposted it or posted it or saved it. But she said, successful people never hit the snooze button. She goes, I'm not saying billionaires. I'm not saying, the Fortune 500 company owners. People could be successful in their own right, whatever success looks like for you. But she goes, I guarantee you, successful people do not hit the snooze button. So when you are setting your alarm in the morning, set it for the time you actually want to wake up. Because I know I'm currently dating someone that sets their alarm at 6 o'clock. They don't get out of bed until 7:30. I'm like, what is the point? Just set your alarm at 7:30 and stop hitting the damn snooze button, because you're driving me batshit crazy with these alarms. So if you start your day on purpose, you start it with intention, what time do you actually want to wake up? And remember, you have to give yourself enough space and time so that you're able to pour into yourself, to take care of yourself, to where you're not jumping from bed to work or from bed to some task, because your body needs time, your mind needs time, your soul needs time to wake up, to recharge, to do the things that you need to do to take care of yourself throughout the day. Number 2 routine is your midday check. Now, like I said in the beginning of this, we all have different days. Our lives are completely different. So maybe Kimberly's midday check is when she's at the office at work, and it's completely different than Cassandra's midday check, or my midday check, or Deb's, or Tiffany's, or anybody else that's watching the replay. We all have different days, so our midday check is going to be different. I don't know if you guys know my girl Miranda Jones. She is a teacher, and ever since she signed up as a coach, I watched her on social media every freaking day. Her midday check would be at lunch, her lunch, the kids' recess. She'd be doing her workout in her classroom, because she's a single mom. She has 2 little ones. It took her 45 minutes to get to school, which is work, 45 minutes to get back home. By the time she got home from work, the kids had to be fed, the kids had to be bathed, and the kids had to be put to bed. So her midday check was her physical part of her routine. And that's different than mine. If I try to work out middle of the day, I would be half-assing it like a son of a bitch. I have no energy to do anything physical in the middle of the day, right? So what is your midday check? And like I said, I'm going to talk about the things to include in these routines, and you could adjust them where need be. Last but not least, your nighttime check, your bedtime check, or not check, your bedtime routine. What are you doing to set yourself up for a restful night's sleep and for a productive morning? We got to think about this as important as our morning routine. Because for one, if we go to bed with, excuse me, so many thoughts or problems or things on our mind, it's going to make for a really shitty night's sleep. And then we're going to wake up in the morning, probably hit our snooze. Excuse me. Oh my God. For those of you that don't know, I was trying to inhale a salad before I started this call. And maybe that's what's going on right now, because I tried in 12 minutes to finish my big old salad and it didn't work. Anyways, and then, if you don't get a good night's sleep, you're sitting there pressing the snooze button, and then you're running late for work. And then it's just this escalating event of happenings you don't want to happen. You're obviously not starting your day intentionally. You're not starting your day on purpose because you had a shitty night's sleep. So what kind of things can you do at night to have a peaceful night's sleep and to have a productive morning in the morning? Okay, so those are your 3 routines that you should have throughout the day. Now, what to include in these routines? Number 1, something for your mindset. And I'm not saying just limit one. I enjoy pouring into my mindset, into my headspace. I know even if I'm not able to do something physically, every single day, I have to do something for my mindset. So something for my mindset, I use my Insight Timer app. It has guided meditations. I journal. I read personal development. I listen to podcasts. I watch, Mel Robbins, Gary Vee, all of these, Lewis Howes. I watch all these people on Instagram intentionally, not scrolling, not getting lost in the vortex, or I listen to podcasts. Like there's so many different elements that help your headspace, your mindset, and they're so easily accessible, right? You don't have to have $1 million or $100 even to invest in your mindset. Like you could literally, every one of us has a phone. All these apps are free. You can literally download the Insight Timer app. It's free guided meditations. You can download Instagram. There's free reels. You can download podcasts. There's free podcasts, all at your disposal. Number 2, something that brings you joy. Now, I put this one in there on purpose because I think a lot of us tend to go through our lives without doing something that brings us joy intentionally every single day. Maybe there's a couple of things here and there. Maybe it's, maybe once a week. Maybe it's not even that often. But if you're constantly going through the motion every day, you just end up feeling like you're surviving, right? But if you're intentional about doing something that brings you joy, no matter what it is, if it's getting outside and going for a walk in nature, if it's cuddling with a baby or a dog, or dancing to music, or singing at the top of your lungs in your car where no one can hear you, or whatever it is that brings you joy, make sure that you plug that into your routine because you deserve to bring yourself joy every single day, because we all know that each and every single day does not bring us joy. So we have to be the ones to bring it to ourselves, right? Number 3, do something active for your body. And this could be your workout, your morning workout. This could be your midday sweat sesh. This could be your evening meditation / yoga. Just something where you're moving your body. You're being physical on purpose. A lot of people, I'm sure you guys have heard this, I don't need a workout. I'm physical in my 9-to-5 job. I'm lifting boxes all day, or I'm doing this all day. Yeah, that's your job, but you're not being intentional about your movements for your body. So number 3, do something active for your body. And number 4, something for your business. Now, this could be different for everybody. Maybe not everybody on here is an all-in coach. Maybe some of us are hobby coaches. Maybe some of us are like, I'm trying to ease back into working the business. So something for your business could be an hour, like a power hour, something that you are dedicating every single day to invite, add to your network, create conversations, all of these things. Maybe it's something as simple as just talking about it on your stories, or sharing a team call photo, or anything. Just something for your business to where you don't feel like you're going backwards. And this is for your mindset, this is for your body, this is for joy. Because if we're not doing something, if we're not taking just a little step forward, we're not just standing still, we're moving backwards. And we all know this. Whatever happens when we read a personal development book and we put it down and we don't read PD for 3 weeks? Do we feel like we left off in the same headspace? Heck no. As much as we want to wish we did. Same thing with our workouts. How many of us have completed 21-day fix or 80-day obsession or whatever program, and then we take a few weeks off and we're like, ooh, I don't feel as strong as I did. I don't feel as flexible as I did. feel whatever. It's because you don't stand still. You either move forward or you move backward. I don't know about you guys, but I've felt like I've been in many stages or seasons in my life where I felt like I was moving forward, but I was moving forward in quicksand. Does that make sense? To where you feel like you're going through the motions, but you're not actually going anywhere. And when I started to get back into my routines again, that's when I seen the light at the end of the tunnel. That's when I was able to take my feet out of the quicksand and actually run on dirt. So it's really important for us to create those intentional time blocks for ourselves, no matter what they are. And like I said, I'm not going to tell you guys what your morning routine should be like or what your evening routine should be like, because each and every one of us has different priorities. Each and every one of us have different goals. Each and every one of us live in different environments. And I want you to build something that works for you so it could benefit you in the direction that you want to go. So there's this quote that I'm sure some of you guys have heard from Mike Murdoch. It said, "The secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine." And I heard this quote on Rob Dial's podcast. He quoted him. And it was in that season of my life where I stopped showing up in the mornings for my morning routine. It was right when I moved into my most recent apartment. I stopped showing up at the virtual gym. I just, let my workouts come when they pleased. I mean, it was always in the morning, but either it was before I took Gage to school, or maybe, I slept in a little bit. So it happened after I took Gage to school. And then my personal development and mindset stuff came after my workouts. And like, it was all just a jumbled mess. And that's when I felt like I was just trudging water. I don't know. I was in quicksand. That's when I felt like I was in quicksand and I wasn't really going anywhere. Then I was like, why am I not going back to what worked for me? My morning routine, where I wake up in the morning, I meditate before I get out of bed. I read my personal development. I journal. I work out. Why am I not doing that? So I started doing that again, and it made me feel productive. And then when I feel productive in the morning, I continue my day feeling that same headspace. So now I'm going to, what time is that? Okay, I gave you guys 20 minutes. I'm going to challenge you, hope you do, for the next 10 minutes. We're going to get off this call. I'm going to take a quick picture, but for the next 10 minutes, I want you to create a routine for your morning, for your midday, and for your nighttime. And for accountability, I want you guys sharing the group. There's no right or wrong way to create your routines. So let me reinvigorate that. Let me remind you guys that it's not like, oh, her routine's better than mine, or that should, that we're not doing that. All of us are in different places in our lives. And so what works for someone else doesn't necessarily work for us. I want you to build something that works for you so it could benefit you. All right. With that said, I'm going to stop the recording so we can take a picture so you guys can get started.